Good morning, students. Today we will be studying another topic in thermoregulation. It is the difference between ectotherms and endotherms. Now, when we talk of thermoregulation, there are two primary responses to fluctuating ambient temperature, which the animal exhibit. This response by the animal is called one, poikilothermy, and second, homeothermy. Poikilotherms are also known as the ectotherms, and homeotherms, that is some tapijeev, they are also referred to as the endotherms. Poikilotherm, the organisms are called the cold-blooded animals, and homeotherms, the animals are called warm-blooded animals. Thermoregulation in organism runs along a spectrum of endothermy to ectothermy. Endotherms create most of their heat via metabolic processes, and they are thus called the warm-blooded animals. Ectotherms use the external source of temperature to regulate their body temperatures, hence called the cold-blooded animals. Even though the body temperature of ectotherms often stay within the same temperature range as warm-blooded animals, still we call them cold-blooded animals because they tend to have low body temperature when the outside temperature or the temperature of the environment is low, and their body temperature may increase when the outside, that is the temperature of the environment, is high. Ectotherm, the term is derived from Greek word ektos, which means outside, and thermos or therm, which means heat. So, ectotherm is an organism in which the internal physiological source of heat are of relatively small or quite negligible importance in controlling the body temperature. These are organisms which control their body temperature through external means, and they depend on the environmental heat sources. They can operate at economical metabolic rate. Ectotherms usually live in environment in which the temperatures are constant, such as tropics or ocean. The body temperature of ectotherm rises and falls with their environment. So, they have developed several behavioral thermoregulation mechanisms such as basking in the sun to increase their body temperature or seeking shade to decrease their body temperature. Ectotherm is an organism whose internal temperature varies considerably. The example of ectotherms are the reptiles, fishes, insects, plants, and invertebrates. The internal temperature of ectotherm varies with the ambient environmental temperature, and many terrestrial ectotherms are poikilothermic. Poikilothermic animals include many species of fishes, as I have already mentioned in the earlier slide. It also includes amphibians, etc. Some ectotherm can also be homeotherms. For example, some species of tropical fish inhabit coral reef that have stable ambient temperature. Hence, their temperature also remains constant. Ectotherms have limited ability to control their body temperature, so they regulate it by behavioral adaptation, as I have already mentioned, like going under the sun in order to increase their body temperature, or going under some tree to lower their body temperature, or huddling together, coming close together so as to generate heat, movement of the wings to absorb light and warmth are some of the behavioral adaptation. Torpor is another adaptation where they undergo a state of physical or mental inactivity or lethargy. The external thermal dependence of poikilotherm enable them to employ behavioral thermoregulation by shuttling between areas of low and high temperature. Second, by changing body position to adjust heat exchange via conduction and radiation.